Hey guys, just looking at Apple's chart here, we can clearly see that Apple's having a little bit of a down move in the after hours. Currently, Apple is pooping on the party of the mega caps. You've had Meta and Amazon absolutely rip, but Apple's actually down now 3.9%. And what I'm going to bring to your attention here on Apple is the fact that it is starting to fall here and potentially trigger some bearish price action. So the big level on Apple that everyone in their mother is watching is this trend line here. So this trend line is currently being tested right now in the after hours on some weak earnings. Take a look at that. Apple now down almost 4% and basically hitting that support zone right now in the after hours. Now the importance of this trend line, what is it? Well, if we remove this trend line, if we actually entertain a potential pattern here, we have a topping formation on Apple, the second largest company that is actually about to trigger and break this neckline. As of today, Apple has triggered right now, unless it's saved, Apple has triggered a head and shoulders on the daily chart here. You can even see it on the 8-hour chart. Apple is officially triggering a head and shoulders. What does this mean? Well, you have massive divergences in the market. You have Amazon up. You have Meta up. You've had massive run-ups in some of these companies. And look at Apple, the second largest company in the world, having a potential technical breakdown here. So pay close attention to this pattern, because if you break this neckline by the end of the earnings call, and if you get a confirmed candle below this low, that likely sets in a potential move for Apple all the way down to the 161 area. What would that mean for the stock? What would that mean for the stock market? That would certainly be a healthy correction in my point of view, but that is something that you have to really, really monitor closely, because again, based off of this little technical pattern here, Apple is having a sharp technical breakdown at the moment. Now you do have some support on this upsloping trend line. So even though you are triggering and breaking the first little neckline, Apple's currently tagging this little support trend line at the moment. So we're ripping on the back of Meta and Amazon, the QQQ and SPY. The SPY actually made a new all-time high in the after hours. And as of now, Apple is starting to put a dampen on that party. The Nasdaq was up 1.2%. Now it's only up 0.89%. The S&P is right now up 0.5%, and the Russell is actually slightly negative. What's interesting about the Russell, and something that I've touched base on with my members, is the Russell is closing right under resistance here, right underneath this resistance trend line. And the Russell actually closed green, but despite the regionals getting absolutely slaughtered. Are we in another banking crisis 2.0? This type of sell-off with this volume is looking very reminiscent to something like this. So I'm just sending some warning signs, not calling a crash, not being a bear. I'm just sending some warning signs to help prevent anyone from potentially being caught in a little bit of a downdraft in the Russell 2000, the regionals, and the Apple stock. Now, Apple's still a behemoth, still a lot of momentum underneath it, but this is not a good technical breakdown on earnings, and it's definitely showing that the Vision Pro sentiment is not really the most optimistic product and product launch as of yet. On that note, thank you all for tuning into this quick little live stream. Hopefully it helps everybody, and we'll see you on the charts a little bit later.